Hello, hello. Hello, everyone. My volume. There we go. Yes, 1 minute. Thanks. But hello, everyone. Welcome to uh, another series. So, in the event that you don't know who I am, my name is Waveney, and I am a leadership mindset coach, and I help new managers, or I help managers, period, unsure managers to become influential leaders. And so, for those of you who have been following me for a little bit, one of the things that I said and I pledged, and I said it out loud because I want to, make a stronger commitment, is to show up every month for a week and talk about um, one of my programs that is called Communicate to Influence. And it's a program that is a coaching program that really helps you to develop leadership influence. And the way I'm going to do this is that around topics that really unsure managers or new managers or managers who are not, um, they don't have that skill, they struggle with. My lighting is so bad. We are on Instagram anyway, hoping for the best. Um, Managers struggle with. And so I have several programs that there are several ways that you can work with me. My main program is Communicate to Influence, but I want to start to do it like I'm teaching you new things and also telling you what's included in the program. And so I started this last month in February, and this is now March, another month end. And so I wanted to share with you. So every day this week, I am going to speak on various topics. Not quite sure about Friday yet because Friday is a holiday here um, on my beautiful Caribbean island. And for those of you who may be tuning in from the Caribbean, it is Good Friday. I may or may not pop on, so I don't want to hold myself to that. But I'll be here up until for sure Thursday sharing with you. And so, good evening again. I hope you had a great day. I had a great day. I had a very long day. So, many of you who know, if you don't know, in my 9 to 5, I am a director of human resources. I work in hospitality. And today was a long day because every quarter we do sort of like a quarterly thank you breakfast for our employees, where our leadership team we make omelets and we serve them breakfast, and in the evening we do pasta. And so this evening I was making pasta, got some great feedback, so yay. But it's always great to recognize your team, right? It's always great to do that. And recognition doesn't have to cost a lot, but it makes such a huge impact. And so I encourage you, if you want to get into leadership, if you want to become a manager, if you want to grow your career, you can start now by recognizing people, just saying thank you. You always want to keep thank you notes. I always have thank you notes. You write thank you notes to persons who've done a great job, or someone who has done something nice for you, and you always want to keep that, right? So if you're growing your career, you want to have that. If you're already in a leadership role, you want to, and you haven't, you want to start doing that. And so this evening, I am speaking to you about um, what is my topic this evening? It's about making a difference. It's about making a difference. And so, one of the things I love about being in a leadership role, being a leader, is that you can make a difference. Uh, you don't have to be popular, you don't have to be famous, you don't have to be infamous. You can make a difference in the lives of the people that you lead. You can do that. And so I wanted to share with you a little bit about the people's brand, and sort of share with you why I started focusing on leadership, why I first started talking to narrowed my niche down to managers, or people who want to become managers, right? So when I first started the People's Brand, and as I do, just before I start, as I do these little series, you're going to learn more and more about me and my passion for the People's Brand, about the company, and so forth. So when I first started the People's Brand, I started it by offering in June, I could remember June 1st, 2018, by first um, offering an interview prep program, and it was called Jumpstart Your Career. I had been wanting, it had been a dream, it had been something that was placed on my heart, wanted to, own a business, but I didn't know what exactly. And even though I had a passion for HR, I really didn't believe that I could start a business from HR, because truth be told, I love HR, but there's certain aspects I don't love. So I couldn't think about what could I do. Um, I couldn't think about what I could do to earn to start a business. And for those of you who may be listening, that maybe want to start a business, or you're you have your own business, you would realize that sometimes you can't see your dream, right? So in talking to a friend of mine, he said to me, you could very well do this. You're passionate about HR, blah, blah, blah. Anyway, when I started the People's Brand, I started with a 7-week interview prep program. It was called Jumpstart Your Career. Was so excited about it. And I helped people with their resumes. I taught them how to really quickly create great resumes, and also I taught them interview skills. And the reason I went that route was because at the time, where I am currently working, we were opening the hotel for which I work, and there was so many interviews being done. I was doing interviews, and I realized that many of the candidates, they didn't interview very well. I could see that they had the potential because I'm gifted like that. I could see the potential, but I knew that if I had passed them on without even giving them a little bit of a coaching, they would fail. And so that's what I would do. I would interview someone, I'd see the potential, and then I'd say, listen, I'm gonna pass you on to the next person. This is what you do. You smile, you shake your hand, you do it like this, you don't say this. I understand why you told me X, but don't say this, that sort of thing. And so I started the People's Brand with my signature um, class, Jumpstart Your Career, and I loved every moment of it. But then in any business, you have to scale. And so I decided to pivot. And even though I still plan, it's still on my radar to bring back jumpstart your career in some way, shape, or form. I'm not sure how I'm gonna do it yet because people still ask me. But I decided to pivot. I decided to pivot and to focus on managers. Um, because I realized that when you become a manager, unless you work for a really fabulous organization, and even if the organization is great, sometimes things get missed. Sometimes you are not set up for success. And I recognize very quickly that managers can make or break you. Your manager can is the difference between whether you want to go to work or not. Your manager, the person that you report to, hold so much power. Um, Not because they're in a position of authority, but a great manager would move mountains. A great manager would it's totally life changing. And so I've been in HR for what, 18, 17 years. I really have to get it right. I've been in HR for a very long time. And I've seen where companies fall short, even companies that I've worked for fall short when people get promoted that don't have the right resource. People get promoted because of the wrong reason. I've seen that people get promoted because they do a great job and they have a manager that looks out for them, and then that person goes away, somebody new comes in, someone who you know has very high standards, expects a lot, and that person cannot deliver. It's very difficult to make that transition to management because nobody ever tells you about all the little things that you have to deal with, like setting boundaries with your work besties, like managing your time. Like, how do you do that? What do you focus on, right? um, in your new role, because in your new role you're trying to prove. um, Nobody understands, nobody tells you how cutting and how hurtful certain comments staff members, some comments that employees make to you, that really, at the end of the day, you're human. Yes, you're in a leadership role, but you're human, and nobody ever prepares you for these things, right? So I decided that I wanted to focus my energy on people who are new to management. Now, I've coached people that have been in management but they needed help. I'm here for you as well. Um, but my primary focus is what I call unsure managers, because when you get that leadership role, you are unsure. And I want to tell you a story now about someone who changed my life, that a leader who changed my life. Many of you may have heard me my first job and speak about my first job and the supervisor that I had, who was not very nice. And I remember her to this day. But I also want to share with you, and I don't think I've ever shared with you about my HR manager. And he's probably the one, not probably, he is the one why I am sitting in this position today. And his name is Fernando. His name is Fernando Cuevas. And back in 2001, I think it was, I joined the team at the Marriott in St. Kitts Marriott. And I joined the team as the admin to the director of HR. That was my first job. And I joined the team during pre-opening. Now, when you're opening a hotel, it is crazy. It is crazy, crazy, crazy. I've done two openings, I would say two and a half, two full openings and a half because I've interviewed for one other property. I don't know if I'll do it again, but it's just chaos and a lot of work, totally rewarding. But he hired me then. By the time the hotel was open, I was the HR coordinator. And I remember Fernando to this day. And there's certain things I want to highlight about Fernando. I want to highlight about how having the right leader or being the right leader can make all the difference in your life. And this is why this program is so rightly called is I chose a name for it. It's because I remember Fernando and how influential he was in my life. And you can be the same way to someone else or the team that you lead. So the first thing is he recognized me. He gave me recognition. Now I remember this particular incident where this particular day where we had this coaching farm, and you could use this farm to coach someone, or you could use the farm to recognize someone. But of course, most of the time, people used it to, uh, I don't want to say discipline, but coach someone on performance because it wasn't, even though it was written, it wasn't like a written warning, so to speak. It wasn't that heavy. And so I remember coming back from lunch and meeting the form on my desk. And like at a glance, I was like, what did I do? Right? What did I do? When I got to my desk, I picked up the form, I read the form, and I think I still have it to this day. I think I still have it to this day. And Fernando was recognizing me. It was like a thank you. And that form would go on my file. And he was recognizing me because he had I'd first started doing orientation. That was my first training experience. And I had written an outline. I had written an outline for myself, like what to do first, next, third, so forth, and so on. And he was blown away by it. For me, it was just really logical, but he was just blown away by it. And he wrote that form recognizing me. I always remember that. So a great leader recognizes, they seek every opportunity to recognize you. All right. And so if you're just joining me, I am talking about making a difference in your leadership. I am telling you, I'm sharing with you a leader who made a difference in my life and what you can do as a leader to make a difference in the lives of others. And this is why I exist. This is what I'm doing here at the People's Brand to help you. I have someone saying on Facebook, simply asked my opinion. My first boss coached me by asking my opinion and reasoned with me through figuring out solutions. That is so great. That is so great. And instead of giving you the answer, they coach you through it. That was a great boss. Thank you for sharing that. So he recognized me and I didn't remember. I wanted to look for the form today to read it out to you. Um, but he did that. The other thing Fernando did is he saw my potential. Listen, when I tell people I am shy, and I think I need to stop saying it at this point. Um, Fernando was the one who got me into training. Fernando was the one who got me into training. All that I've learned, we have each, he was the one that pushed me. He realized that I needed to be challenged. He realized that I love to learn. And so he was the one who was facilitating new hire orientation. And he's like, Wave, I think that you can do this. And he was the one who encouraged me to do that. And from new hire orientation, I went on to do other trainings. And at Marriott, you just can't do this certain, they have, and I think it's probably the same way. They have, when it gets to like their management training, they have a robust training program. That's one thing about Marriott. They have a robust training program, but any and anyone can't deliver facilitate that, right? And so what they do is they get people from the different hotels who are interested, and they certify them to become uh, trainers, right? And so you have to be certified in a particular training program to teach it. And because of Fernando, he encouraged me. So when I left Marriott back in 2012, I was actually, uh, and I would say I still am, a Marriott certified facilitator where I traveled to different hotels to facilitate training. And it was because of him. He got me there. He's the reason why I'm able, because as part of the services that I offer at the People's Brand, I offer training and I'm able to customize training for clients. I had a meeting the other day with someone who wanted some training. They told me what they wanted. I went back, I put something together. I said, here, let me know what you think. And the person said to me, wow, this is comprehensive. And it all started with Fernando. It all started with Fernando. And guys, I don't want to be gushing, but I want you to understand the power of your role as a leader, that you could make a difference. Look at me today. Uh, Comfortable doing training, love it, can customize. If you sit with me and tell me, hey, I want X, Y, and Z, I could put something together for you, right? Um, because of Fernando. And so he recognized me, he saw my potential, he got me into training. Yes, I'm gushing about Fernando. Did I get him upset? Did I do things that um did I do things that, you know, I was supposed to? Yes, he called me out. He called me out because a great leader doesn't just let someone go. Many times when you are a new leader, I've seen it so many times. New leaders are afraid of calling people out. Even people who've been in management for a while, you are not doing anybody, any good if you see something that they're doing wrong and you just kind of leave it alone because you don't like confrontation. But confrontation, um, and I don't want to use the word confrontation, but calling people out, telling people the truth, coaching people is a huge part of being a leader. And he called me out. One of the things Fernando called me out on was he saw like I had a way, if I didn't like a particular task, I would just kind of move it around, do it, say I'm going to do it the next day, kind of procrastinate on it until I got it done, or I was pushed to get it done, or I had the deadline was right under my nose. And sometimes I still do that. But when I'm doing that, I am even more aware. I know what it is. It's not that I can't do it, it's because I don't like to do it, right? And that's something I would have never learned if Fernando hadn't called me out. That's something I would not have been aware of if he hadn't called me out. And so I encourage you today to seek feedback. Many times we get into this role and people can't tell us stuff, right? We can't accept feedback. But a great manager not only recognizes, they not only sees your potential, but they call you out. They call you out. And the higher up you go in leadership, you want people to be able, people don't tell you the truth because they're afraid of your position, they're afraid of your authority, they're afraid you wouldn't like them. And so when you get people who tell you the truth about things that you're doing, embrace that. Feedback is a gift. And so the other thing he did was he challenged me. He challenged me. I remember um, there was a particular task I was responsible for, and it was the employee insurance. And I remember someone coming into HR and they were asking a question, and I said, you know what, I don't know, and I sort of left it like that. And after the person left, he said to me, Wave, you cannot do that. He said, you are the owner. This is your job. You are the owner of the insurance. But truth be told, insurance can be complex, right? um, it could be complexities. I'm not expecting you to know every nitty gritty, but I am expecting that you are able to speak confidently and intelligently enough because, of course, we have a group plan. We're administering a group plan for our employees. He said, and you are that point person. So I want you to be proactive. I want you to embrace it. Get the brochure if you must, follow up if you must, but you must be able to speak confidently to that. And I always remember that. I don't know. I always remember that. So great leaders challenge you. It's not that they always reward you, they challenge you. And so great leaders see you, they see your potential, they see your flaws, they call you out on your bullshit, right? In a loving way, in a way that you can grow and they coach you. Great leaders do that. And so I want to be that. This is why I pivoted to focusing on new managers because when I look at my life and even the life of other people that I know and look at the leaders, and when you hear people talk about the leaders that influence them, you as a manager, you are in a powerful, powerful role. Leadership is not a joke, it is not a game. It is not an excuse to be on a power trip. I believe everybody could be a leader. That's why you don't really hear me using the word manager a lot, unless I'm talking about being an unsure manager. Because I believe everybody and anybody could lead once you really want to, and once you put your heart and soul into it. You have to want it. So this is why I wanted to give you this piece from the People's Bank. This is why I focus on your managers because you have a lot of untapped potential. Or even if you are on your leadership journey and you need some assistance, because I do have clients that they've been in management, but they need some help, right? Um, what else do I want to share with you? Because of one of the things with leaders is that they influence through behavior. And this is why I talk about influential leadership. They don't influence isn't about power, it isn't about authority, it is about influencing through behavior. And so what great leaders do is they connect, they inspire, and they influence you. And so I just wanted to share that story with you. I just wanted to encourage you to make a difference. Don't take that promotion lightly. Don't take that step into management lightly. Even if your title is supervisor and you're leading a team, right? Don't take it lightly because you have the ability, just like Fernando did with me, you have the ability to impact and influence people's lives for good. Like I said, you don't have to be famous, you don't have to be popular. You're walking down the street, nobody has to be signing an autograph. Oh, let me get a photo with you. It's not about that, but think about the lives that you can change if and when you lead right. Look at me. I would have never thought that I would be here right now utilizing the skills that Fernando has taught me. And it is the same, he was the one who really taught me about HR. He made HR sexy for me. So when people, and that's the other thing, when people talk about, oh, HR just hires and fires, or HR does this, I don't know that HR because he never made it that way for me. He never made it that way for me or anyone on the team at the time. He made HR sexy for us. And he showed me the power, how powerful being an HR professional could be and can be in the lives of people. And that's the HR, I mean, that's the HR that I know because of his leadership. And so I want to do that for you. I want a people's brand is built in such a way that I support leaders. I support you. I help you to become the very best that you can be. And I believe people can change once they want to change. Once they want to change. And so you can make a difference. Now, one of the ways that I do that, like I mentioned before, in my business, I offer different coaching, I offer different services, but my flagship program, Communicate to Influence, I help you go from being an unsure manager to an influential leader. Um, in just 90 days because we work together for 90 days. All right. You do the work, I do the work. And the first module is about a leadership mindset. You've heard me speak about mindset a lot, and I'm actually doing a lot of work um, around that to help you getting more tools in my toolbox and resources so that I can help you because that switch and that change from being um, that transition into leadership, it is a transition. It is not just something that, oh, I have a title and then that's it. It is about changing your mind. And so this is why you may see on my social media handle, you'll see leadership mindset coach because your mindset is the one, it can make or break, it can make or break you. And so I just wanted to put that out there. Now, if you are ready to uh, work with a coach, please send me a DM, send me a DM and we'll set up an appointment. We'll set up a consultation call, um, or you can set it up through I think I have links in my bio that you can set it up through and schedule it. You can do that. If you want more information on the program, let me know and I'll send you that information. But the other thing that you can do if you're like, oh, I'm not sure, you know, then I have a 3-day leadership challenge. I'd like to invite you to take that. I'll put it in the link. If you're on Instagram, the link is in my bio. If you're on Facebook, I'll put it after this video is over so that you can take that. So if you're unsure um, about coaching or my style, that is a easy way that you could just take a challenge for 3 days, work with me, and you can decide what you want to do. And so that's it. Thank you for joining me. Share this out with a work bestie. Remember, you can make a difference. You can make a difference as a leader in the lives of the people around you and the people that you need. Thank you so much for joining me. I will talk to you tomorrow, same time, 7, on a different topic. Bye.